Welcome to another episode of SquareMax Customs. This week we're going to work on our Saturn truck, which was formerly a 4-door car. If you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, I'll leave a link for it in the description. Well, on the last episode we mended the back of the cab and the, Saturn together to make a cab. And, well, we built a bed. But now we need to make it more camouflage so it don't look like plywood. You ain't gonna believe this. I had to do a dump run, weekly chores, yay. I went to the dump and I found freaking bedliner cement paint. Hold on. I found bedliner at the dump. Yeah, free. How could you beat that? So we're gonna roll that in here. That way it's black and it looks more, well, it looks more like it's supposed to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Well, one of the main things to remember whenever you're gonna paint something is to make sure you have a good sanded surface, because you need something rough for this, paint to stick to. So I don't know, get yourself some sand and go to town on it. That should do. And the next step is to make sure everything's clean. That looks fine. And then you're pretty much ready to shake your paint up, pour it out, and start covering everything up. Would you look at that? That looks freaking awesome. It came out way better than I thought it was gonna come out, huh? What do y'all think? You can hardly tell. That's some good bedliner, huh? I thought it came out pretty freaking good too. So, check this out, right? So, I was shaking this can up and I turned it upside down to make sure it got all the gunk out the bottom, and, well, when I first got home, I blew off the lid because it was all nasty. But it must have had like some nasty stuff covering a rust hole, so it started squirting paint all over. It was either way. Well, I had a heck of a time getting this lid off, as you can see. She's on there is what I'm trying to say. But we got it, Popeye, the Sailor Man style. It ripped the freaking top right off. That looks freaking awesome. All right, on to the next project. Hey, Bondo Max back with some more body working secrets that they don't want you to know about. So, you see how you got a fender that's all cracked up and it's busted away and, well, it's not right. What you gotta do is you gotta get yourself some tape. But not just any tape, because you don't wanna be a hack. Get yourself some metal tape. I personally like the stuff that's got like the little strings through it. It's reinforced that way. They got other stuff that don't have strings through it, and it's also a lot sharper and it rips easier. This stuff you cut with a knife. And what you gotta do is look at, it's only 1.5 inches. That means we only have to skim the filler over it when we're all done. So it's pretty simple. You just cut yourself a piece and, well, forgot to prep the surface. sand your surface, and then voila, crack be gone. That's the easiest metalwork I could ever show y'all. Don't forget about it. This is a secret of the trade. Ready? Ready? Boom. What crack? That's what I'm trying to say. It's that simple. Yeah, everybody overthinks it, and that's the biggest problem, is people overthink it. There's nothing to overthink here. It looked ugly, and well, now it looks a little less ugly. Do y'all want to know a redneck secret to get instant horsepower out of your newly acquired truck? Well, 25 extra horsepower to be exact. A bolt-on cowl induction hood. Huh? 25 extra horsepower. Takes 5 minutes. Wait, there's more. What they don't want you to know, if you simply turn that cowl induction hood around, now you have a ram air hood, 32 extra horsepower. Yeah, I know, I couldn't believe it either, but it's right here. I'm telling you, I'm letting you in on the secrets right now. So now that we got the roof all ground down and we got the back here where we did our metal work all ground down, what I'm trying to say is now that we got our metal work all ground down and our superb metal, look, I put it through the bead roller and I rolled a little bead on it. That way it's got the little, it's hard to see, but it's got a little fender lip there. So that's pretty nifty, huh? Don't think, you know, you can't shortcut everything is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you take the extra second and, well, it paid off. Look at that patch, you can hardly tell. All right, like I said, now it's time for us to mix up some filler and, well, we got a little dent over here we got to fix. See it? So I'm mixing some bonder up and put some metal shavings in it and make that thing good as new and make it disappear, and well, we'll be on to the next project. Well, we got her all sanded down, and look, we even taped it off. That way we don't get, you know, body filler on everything that we don't want it on. This side's all taped off. She's ready is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We got the door and the fender taped off. We're freaking professional around here. We ain't trying to cut corners. You know, take the extra time. Tape your vehicle off. Don't have everything. Hey, so I got my Bondo. I got some mixing stuff. I got a little piece of metal bent up. That's how I scoop my putty out and put it on my cardboard. Cardboard's fine. You don't have to worry about the cardboard sucking all the good stuff out of the Bondo. I have never had that problem in my lifetime. Hey, word of advice, get yourself a can of brake clean, right? Listen, when you're all done spreading your putty around, you know, and you scrape off what you can on the cardboard, come over here and just give that a good old squirt on both sides. Grab yourself a rag and, well, it looks brand new. I've used this one about a dozen times. So that's how I keep mine all clean. And don't forget your metal shavings, you know. You don't want to be called a hack or nothing. Make sure you mix them in your Bondo. You definitely want your magnet to stick. That way, you know, the professionals come out. They know is what I'm trying to say. You can't tell me that this is not a $40,000 SEMA truck. I mean, come on, let's be real here. We could probably send it to old Jackson Barrett there and get like 60 or 70,000 sending it across the auction line. I mean, come on, look. The hood's not bent in half. That's got to be worth an extra 10K right there. So we're done with our first round of body work. So fabulous, ain't it? Looks good, yeah? I think I'm only gonna put like maybe a little bit in the center where it's got a little rippity spot. Besides that, I'll probably call that good. Now, remember, don't do what I'm doing. This is solely for your entertainment. This is not a body shop. I'm no professional. We're just having fun. We're just having fun building a truck. This isn't... It's a SEMA. Look at, that's pretty ferocious, but that's fine. That's why you put 2 or 3 layers on. This one looks about done. I think that one's about done. That dent's gone, huh? Goodbye, dent. Same thing here. It's a little ugly, but one more layer and some more sanding. And like I said, maybe a little bit on this edge and a little bit on that edge, but just a wee bit in the center there. And I'm gonna call that good. Look at this thing, taking shape. Oh, sit in the thinking chair for a second and breathe. Well, what do you think? Ah, look at that. Now that we're done with our metal work and we ground her all down and made her smooth, well, it's roughed in. We probably got one more coat. You know, same with, you know, the old door, which is now, well, it's not. It's just a freaking box side. Look at that bedside. And the roof and the back wall. So I would say we got, you know, one more run through with body filler before we actually sand the old girl down and we paint her. But that's later. We're not there yet. Next episode, you're gonna have to come back to the next episode for us to paint. This episode though, we're still missing a functioning tailgate, right? Right, that's what I thought. So we need to figure out how to make the tailgate open. Right now, well, as you can see, the tailgate just, she comes off. Well, we could do something like that. We could make it lift off. Right? Just put like 4 pins, a pin, 2 lock pins on the bottom, you know, 1 on each side and a pin here. And we'll just have it like a race, we'll call it a racing tailgate, you know. You pull the pin, like the hood pins, you pull the pin out and you lift your tailgate up. That's what it is, it's a racing tailgate. No, I don't know, I don't think that'll work right. It just won't, you can't consider it a trunk if the freaking tailgate don't fold down, right? You're right, okay. Well, guess what? I just so happened to be going into my house to get me a cup of coffee and I noticed that my front door, well, it had 3 of these hinges. And, you know, lo and behold, they're meant to open and close things. Well, we need to open and close our tailgate. So I'm sure the front door won't miss one. Well, what do you think, huh? Look, what? Get out of here. It's tailgate, no? Yeah, I thought so, and it don't look too bad, no? Look, it's pretty freaking sturdy, too. So, hey, did you know that one of man's best friends comes in many different sizes? Yeah, I was mind-boggled, too. And this ain't all. This is just some of the different sizes you can get. What are they? Self-tappers. You couldn't tell what they were? Come on. So, what are we missing? Yup, tailgate straps. Because, well, that's too far. So I was going to use some chain, but I just couldn't find nothing that I liked. So I went digging around and, you know, don't worry, I found something. I found the old, you know, you better behave or you're getting it strap. You older fellers and fellettes, you know what I'm talking about. So I think this will look nice. No, yeah, I thought so. I think something like that, right like that. Well, 1 on each side and that'll be perfectly fine. And then it should fit right in the crevice when we fold the tailgate up. Yeah, that'll work. All right, we better get this cut. What do you think, huh? That's a tailgate. That's what I'm saying. You're right. That's freaking ugly. You can't just leave that open like that. That's horrible, right? So just for all you people out there that got mad that I plywooded the bed, look, I can metalwork stuff. Look at this beautiful piece with all these beautiful bends, yeah? All right, now that that's done, bink, 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 bink. I'm gonna put 6 screws in it, and well, yeah, the tailgate's got a bed cap. That's pretty sweet. What's next? Oh, we gotta build a latch. We'll figure something easy out for that. That looks good. What's it look like on the camera? Does it look good to you all? Put it down in the comments. What do you think, huh? All right, I'm gonna get that zipped on. We can double check it when I'm done. Hey, look at that. I got a brand new taillight in it. That came out pretty good, huh? So I didn't want to go spend $10 on little latchy things, but look what we figured out. We found the seat belts from the Saturn. They weren't good. And it's quick. It only takes a second. Boop. Look at that. Ready? Watch this. Tell me that ain't freaking cool, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. You can't tell me that's not cool. That worked out really nice. So we got some, well, we got to try to piece this back together because, well, if you watched it, the will it run, you know, the theft recovery video, then you know why it's ripped apart. If you didn't watch it, well, you're going to have to go watch that video, then you'll find out. But what I'm trying to say is we got to put this back together because, well, it's a freaking disaster in here. And look at the headliner. So maybe we can just fix on that just a little bit, just slightly to make it a little better, maybe in a vacuum. And well, look at what the wifey's doing. She installed a turbo. Yeah, she's a freaking certified mechanic. No joke. She's turboed now. So she's like another 197 horsepower faster. What I'm trying to say is she's a speed demon. This is one sexy, sporty truck. Well, I mean, the inside didn't clean up too bad, huh? She's stained and stuff, but she cleaned up good. And one of the back old door handles fit on the driver front door, so now the window rolls up and down easy. We're missing the plastic piece for the top of it. Look, it barely looks stolen now, huh? That sucks. I don't know where that went. And well, the headliner looks much better without all that stuff falling down. So look, I'm being all professional like and everything, and I taped it off, and well, we're gonna paint that black so it matches the rest of the bed. And we put a couple patches in up there that were meant to be. And well, if any of y'all remember when we built this thing, well, we didn't have a gasket for the back window. But I was digging through my stuff. Don't worry, it'll be fine is what I'm trying to tell you. I was digging through my stuff, and I found this 3M rubber splicing tape. Like, I thought it was black tape at first, but hold on. Just calm down. You still there? It'll be fine. Just easy. It's thick, and it's not real sticky. Either way, it's rubber. It's a piece of rubber, and it's in between the window and the metal, so now the window is not gonna vibrate. And it was free. Y'all gotta remember, I probably have maybe $10 invested in this whole project, and it was for fun. It was for fun. If the wood don't last, that's fine. If somebody or one of us or something ends up driving it around and we fall in love with it, well, you know, we can make a nicer bed insert later on. We did pop out a bunch of drain plugs in the bottom of this on the floor and stuff, and we're gonna drill a few more holes down there. That way any of the water that does go down will drain out. Now, I thought about sealing it all up, but look, there's a ledge all the way around. So it'd be initially like a swimming pool, I guess. And I'd have to like drill holes and put little funnel things in all the corners. Plus, this is our spare tire trap or tool chest trap, you know, whatever we want to put in there. But hey, I mean, this thing, she's looking good is what I'm telling y'all. You gotta understand that. Yeah, no, put in the comments. What do y'all think? We gotta paint this. Well, the ElcaSaturn is running good, yeah? This thing's sweet. I don't care what y'all say. So, what did we learn on this episode? Well, on this adventure, I've learned that there's a lot of crybabies out there watching me. And there's a lot of people that get mad that I do my own thing with my own vehicles. And there's a lot of people that got upset that I built this car. I find it quite funny. I'm starting to understand how bad Chad and Whistle and Diesel have made it with all the haters. I personally like both of them guys. But I understand because I have so many dislikes on this video. I got so many comments calling me a retard and this dude's on drugs, kids don't do drugs, this is the... Listen, you guys are freaking hilarious. Y'all need to take a chill pill. I mean, this thing was built for fun. I did it in my free time. This isn't a $1 million car. It's a $40,000 SEMA truck. Get that right now. I did it for fun, everyone. I don't understand why y'all are getting mad. And for the ones that are enjoying it, thank y'all. I appreciate all the great comments. And I'm glad y'all come to watch me. Like I said, it was built for fun. It was just a time filler to give us some different content from the Jeep for a bit. So, I don't really know what to tell y'all, but... Woo! Come back here. Where are you going? Jeez. Stay with me. And if any of y'all want to support the channel, the best way to do that is head over to SquareMaxMerch.com and, you know, buy yourself a t-shirt or a koozie, maybe a pen or a keychain, maybe you'll into air fresheners. Either way, check it all out. It comes from our house to your house. The wife packages it and ships it to you. We appreciate all the support. That helps the channel tremendously.
What's that? But we'll do a burnout.
So that's about all I got time for this week. You know, I gotta go back and do the grown-up thing and go do my normal job and make money to pay the bills, because, well, the whole $48 YouTube gave me last week didn't really cover much. But hey, I'm having fun, I'm enjoying this. I'm glad you guys all came to watch. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy. And you know, if you didn't, I guess give me another thumbs down. I got enough of them on this. Y'all gotta admit, this little tailgate thing was pretty freaking nifty, huh? Look at that. That's freaking cool. You can't say that that didn't come out good, along with the bed. It didn't cost us nothing to bedline this thing. How'd you like the tailgate straps made out of the old seat belts of the Saturn? I'm not sure how many more episodes we'll have, as this was just a fun filler project. I'm not sure if this thing will get put on the road and driven, or if it'll just be my yard truck. I'm really not sure. Yes, we're in Florida, and for all the ones that asked, I can go register this and insure it and put it on the road right now. I didn't alter nothing that affects me driving it on the road legally. A little bit more fine tuning on the bodywork and a paint job. Make sure you guys all put down what color you'd paint it. As always, I'll see y'all next week. Love, peace, and Chevy trucks.